Hello, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife and CropLife Iron magazines, here today with Lara Sowinski. And as you may be able to tell from our backdrops, we're in hotels. We're about a floor apart here at the Hampton Inn downtown in San Diego, getting ready for the Agricultural Retailers Association annual meeting. Lara, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. California, your old stomping ground. So yeah, although you were a little further north of here is where you lived, correct?
Yep, but it's still SoCal, so
Okay. All right.
it's nice. Nice to be home.
Well, if you're on the same high side of the hotel I'm on, I'm getting the trolleys going by every few minutes,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna hate those bells by the time this trip is over. So
And-
speaking of things on rail, I guess we've got a lot of activity going on, Miss Laura, when it comes to the potential rail strike. I know I was reading in the airports yesterday as I was flying my way out to San Diego that there are four unions in total that have rejected the government initiative that was negotiated for their members. Their members have said no, and they're threatening to strike on December 9th. But I also read that, and as you might imagine, a lot of the ag groups are stepping in. National Corn Growers, Agricultural Retailers Association, all those folks have come out and basically said, look, America cannot afford a rail strike that's going to cost $1 billion to $2 billion a day in lost revenue. It'll really hurt all the folks that rely on rail in agriculture, ag retailers, growers. And I read yesterday that it sounds like President Biden has actually implored now Congress to step in and basically maybe keep the strike from happening on December 9th, which we're coming up on here rapidly. So is
Right.
this what you're hearing as well, Ms. Laura?
Indeed. In fact, I read another item that fertilizer shipments, Corey Rosenbush over at TFI said December 4th is the deadline to stop the fertilizer and inputs shipments on rail. So that deadline is right around the corner. It's a showdown. I don't know that I have a feeling one way or the other how this is going to pan out, but it's pretty grim for sure.
Yeah, well, and again, luckily, what I was reading, it seems like, I know President Biden has been reluctant to step in on worker union matters in the past, but he basically said, "Hey, Congress, I think you guys should step in." And from what I was reading in the one article I was looking at, it sounds like the bipartisan votes will be there for some type of a resolution to be imposed and the strike not to take place. I guess it goes back to some railroad act from 1926 for the good of the country that the government can actually step in and, declares such a situation at an impasse and sort of impose a little bit of a negotiated settlement. So, yeah, but again, by the time this video airs, it'll be the 3rd of December. So we'll be a day out from potentially when fertilizer shipments would be stopping. So yeah, actually, our viewers will ask you to stay tuned because obviously this is a situation we'll be following all throughout this week, and I'm sure plenty of the folks we see here at the ARA show will have some feedback to give us about that. So
Yeah, indeed. Top news.
yes. Well, one other bit of news, I guess this is, sort of good news. I know there's been some back and forth regarding the U.S. and Mexico regarding biotech yellow corn being accepted or rejected by Mexico. And the Mexican government was basically saying they didn't want any U.S. Yellow corn that was genetically modified coming into the country. And I know that the corn folks have actually asked the regulatory bodies and the government to maybe step in. But I read this morning that the Mexican government may have reconsidered and they may allow U.S. biotech yellow corn to come into the country, but only as animal feed. So,
Correct.
have you heard that as well?
That's exactly what I heard. And if I'm not mistaken, that is most of the corn that we export to Mexico, that is primarily used for animal feed. So if that's the exception, that would actually be good news.
Yeah, I guess the impact would be lessened, and yeah,
Right.
again, this is another one of those situations viewers will be following as things move forward, but a ray of hope. I know the rhetoric going back and forth between the Mexico and U.S. regarding the situation was pretty firm on both sides, saying you will take the corn, we will not take the corn. So maybe now there's just a little smidgen of room for some compromise, which will be good. We always like some compromise. So what do they say about negotiations? They're always, if you're not getting everything you want, they were good negotiations. So of course they never visited my divorce court paddles, but that's beside the point.
I was laughing because it almost sounds like an opera. You will take the corn, you will not take the corn.
If we were a very innovative program, our videographer would be doing that as an opera back and forth. But my Italian sucks, so it would be really kind of hard to impart that out. I just gotta say. So.
All right. Well, I'll work on the libretto for our next retail week.
Okay. Yeah, me too. All right. Well, as I said at the top of our program, we're here in San Diego, California at the annual Agricultural Retailers Association meeting. I know I'm looking forward to, I know this afternoon we'll be hosting our retailer roundtable. And although we won't be able to share with you exactly what was said, some of the concepts and topics we discussed will certainly probably give us fodder for future videos, and we'll be happy to share those. But I'm also happy to report that I'm going to be handing out the CropLife Iron Product of the Year Award. And there will be a video next week of the company that received that award accepting it, and hopefully saying a couple of nice things about their product that was deemed best in show by our readers of CropLife Iron magazine.
Super cool. That's great.
Yeah. How about you, Laura? What's on your agenda for this week while we're here?
Well, I have a visit with an ag retailer, Rockwood Ag Services out in Brawley, so a couple hours east of San Diego. Looking forward to making the drive out there and sitting down and talking with the folks there. So
yeah, I think that was my friend Victor Lopez, who I met back in September. Victor. And yeah, so Victor, you had asked us to give you a little love, and it's on its way. So and treat my gal Laura nicely, please. So
exactly. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Laura, then we'll keep this video a little shorter this week. So I guess it's time for your favorite segment. We'll see if you can get that Barbie Ferrari that you've been lacking the last few weeks. But it is time for Fun with Numbers. All right. Now, this week, I gotta say, I think I have like the smallest number I've ever had.
Wow.
So, okay, your number this week is 14.5 cents.
Okay.
Okay, so is 14.5 cents, is that A, the share of each dollar spent on food in 2022 that goes to growers? Is it B, the premium on price Mexico is currently paying for non-GMO yellow corn? Is it C, the increase in turkey per pound costs for Thanksgiving 2022? Or is it D, the amount my son offered to loan me when I was short 15 cents when I stopped at Starbucks this past weekend? And if you know my son, he always has a habit of offering me a penny or so less of what I need if I've ever had to borrow change from him. So 14.5 cents would be right in his wheelhouse.
Oh, man. I tell you're very creative. I'm going to go with B, however.
You're going with B, premium price. Oh, that Barbie Ferrari is just getting further away. No. I am sorry, Miss Laura. The correct answer is A. I ran across an item that was talking about how much of each dollar actually goes to growers here in 2022, and it was 14.5 cents. The other what would that be? 85.5 cents goes for marketing. But that is a
Oh.
decline of 1 whole cent from 2021. So
Really?
again, I know the growers made a lot of money here in 2022, but in terms of the share of dollars or cents they're getting per dollar, it
Mhm.
actually went down. So.
Interesting. Okay. All right. We'll try again next week.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us again. Like I said, stay tuned for future videos on some updates. Obviously something breaks on the rail situation, we'll have an update in the video that we've just recorded. I know we did that back in September at some point when we spent the whole video talking about dire doom and gloom, and it ended up there was a settlement reached. So we that is the only
Tease that up.
problem with recording the videos early in the week and then not airing them until Saturday. But in the meantime, though, we hope you guys enjoy yourselves. You'll have had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Thanks. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comments section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.